Knowledge transfer. It's a phrase you'll hear throughout police education. Academies talk about it. Instructor development programs emphasize it. Commanders encourage it. Experienced officers mentor recruits. After-action debriefings are designed around it. Scenario-based training depends on it. And all of those things are valuable. But I'd like to ask a question that may be less familiar. How does a police department know that knowledge has actually transferred? Notice I'm not asking whether training occurred. I'm not asking whether instructors taught the lesson. I'm not asking whether officers attended class. I'm asking something different. How does the police organization know that learning moved beyond the classroom and became operational performance? Because knowledge transfer isn't measured by teaching. It's demonstrated through application. In adult learning, we often distinguish between exposure to information and the ability to perform under real conditions. Anyone can attend a class. Anyone can complete an online module. Anyone can sign a roster. The more difficult question is whether the knowledge became part of professional practice. In policing, that matters a lot. Police officers make decisions in dynamic, uncertain, and often dangerous environments. The goal of education is not simply to deliver information. The goal is to prepare police officers to recognize situations, make sound decisions, adapt under stress, and perform consistently within constitutional and organizational expectations. That raises another question. How does the organization evaluate whether that happened? Is it relying on attendance records, qualification scores, written examinations, scenario performance? Or does it integrate those sources into a broader understanding? Those are very different approaches. If you're listening, let's get to this. If you're listening as a police officer, this isn't questioning your commitment or your professionalism. Every police officer knows that real learning continues long after graduation from the police academy. Experience shapes judgment. Field training shapes judgment. Mentors shape judgment. Supervisors shape judgment. The organization shapes judgment. Knowledge transfer isn't something you complete. It's something that develops over time. If you're listening as a police executive or a commander of a police academy, perhaps the more challenging question is this. How do you demonstrate, not simply assume, but how do you demonstrate that knowledge transfer is occurring across your organization? Can you describe the process? Can you identify where it breaks down? And there's more questions to that. Those are organizational questions. And organizational questions deserve organizational evidence. For attorneys and judges, knowledge transfer presents another perspective. Training records may establish that instruction occurred. They may identify who attended. They may describe the curriculum. But they don't necessarily explain whether the police organization evaluated how learning became operational performance over time. Not because every case becomes a failure to train claim, and not because every department has deficiencies. It matters because organizational functions should be understood before before conclusions are reached about organizational or municipal responsibility. Perhaps that's the larger lesson. Knowledge transfer is one of the most important responsibilities in police education. But if an organization cannot explain how it knows knowledge has actually transferred, then perhaps the conversation isn't finished. Perhaps that's where it begins. I'm Tom Loglisci. Thank you for listening to Police Praxis Audio Briefings.